Happy Valentine's Day. Running a little late this evening because I forgot to fix the candles before we got started. So welcome. My name's Reverend Dr. Michael McMorrow. We're coming to you live at the Center for Spiritual Living here at the Center for Spiritual Living in Granada Hills, California. We're located in the North San Fernando Valley, a faith community who welcomes all who practice their beliefs in faith and love. And it is Valentine's Day. It is also the first day of Lent. Yesterday was Fat Tuesday, and I'm still feeling it. So I'm also, as part of moving into these 40 days of Lent, which is actually more than 40 days because you don't count certain days and so forth. But I started up my Facebook noontime practice again. So up through Easter Sunday, I will be doing the noontime interfaith prayer from various places around town. All right, and as our presider has well, they're not here. So what can I say? So that means you get me for the whole night. So let's just start by taking a deep conscious breath and release, and using the breath to allow ourselves to surrender to this moment. Taking one more breath and feel the exhale as we release the cares and concerns of the day. One more breath for ourselves, just to be in our body, taking a deep breath. Hold it at the top this time. And feel the exhale. As we just allow ourselves to claim this moment as our own, as we come together for our call to service. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is a unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this evening. So as we light the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. The 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here in our sanctuary, within our online community, and of course within our own hearts. And as our buddy Michael Carlin lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experience the healing flame of God's eternal love.
I'm thankful, so grateful. I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I surrender, I surrender. I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I surrender, I surrender. I trust in God.
So again, taking a deep breath, recognizing and knowing that there is but one power, one presence, one source, one life, one living intelligence. The creative impulse of life itself that is both impressing and expressing itself in, through, and as all of life, in, through, and as your life, in, through, and as my life, and everyone else as well. And so it is from this place of conscious unity with the One that I claim for each one listening either now or later on the recording, that we are one in the Spirit, that we are one in mind, that we are one in setting this intention of allowing this meditation time to be one that cultivates an experience of peace, serenity, of inner harmony, of balance, creating space for healing, intuition, guidance, to make itself known. And so as we sit in the silence this evening, we do so knowing that the indwelling Spirit of the Most High is longing to make itself known, to express itself in ways great and small in our life. So we are open and receptive to a healing of body, mind, and spirit. That we are open and receptive to intuitive guidance, to creative ideas, to opportunities for good, knowing that we are participating in this thing called life, co-creating with the Spirit in this thing called life, on a field of infinite possibilities for good. So we stand confidently with open hearts and open minds into this field, releasing our word, our hopes, our aspirations, our burdens. Just releasing it all now, knowing that in that release, all is made whole. So in deep gratitude and confidence, we release it all to the divine activity of law, knowing it is done, knowing it is so. Together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. Amen. All right, so Mike said he was going to put the If there's any of you joining us online, Mike was going to put us on the YouTube so we could look at the chat. Oh, it's warming up. I think I threw him a curveball. So I'm willing to take a group conscience tonight as to whether we do the drawing, the opportunity drawing at the beginning, or if I make you wait and try and meditate through wondering if you're going to win or not through 20 minutes of silence and see how you do with that meditation. So this evening, being Valentine's Day, and today was my first installment of the Facebook at noon. Again, something I did, a practice that I did, gosh, I think for at least 2 years, maybe 2.5 years through COVID, as a way of just trying to, for myself, to stay connected with our spiritual community and hopefully for those within our community, through that little, the silly little likes thing and the reactions and all that, that people would see that, we're still out there, we're still connected, and so it kind of created its own little community. So I'm making this commitment again, starting today, because it's the first day of Lent. In the Christian, at least the Christian holiday when I was a kid growing up, I would, for a week or two before Lent started, I would tell everyone how much I loved homework, so that when Lent hit, I could give up homework for Lent. And nobody else believed it any more than you do. But I've taken to, instead of giving something up, and this is something, the Pope Francis has been encouraging people to do, rather than giving something up, to instead recommit to some spiritual practice. And so this Lenten season will be 40 days of looking for love in all the right places. And so if you want to join me on Facebook for that, it'll be around 12:30-ish, depending on Wi-Fi and so forth. But I'll be keeping that commitment, so you can look for that. And then, Mike, you have the chat up there. Yeah. Is there anybody joining us tonight? Yeah, Lisa, Marianne Lockhart. So let's take a group conscience. Should I do should I wait until the end of the meditation and do the drawing then? Or should we just get it over with and do the drawing now? Is anybody voting on the chat there? Okay, there's some lag. We got one now. I got one now here in the sanctuary. Do I have two? Marianne says, hey. Okay, so Marianne, that's a yes. Okay. Okay. Lissa says wait. Oh, Lissa says wait. Well, we got 3 nows and a wait. Oh, Marianne says now. Okay. All right. Well, there's nothing like instant gratification. So, all right. So I just, for full disclosure, I just bought 12 tickets myself. I only put my name on 5 of them, and then I dispersed them for people here in the center and family members. So just letting you know. And I'm going to call Rosalie up here. She's going to stick her hand in. The basket has been shaken, and she's going to slide her hand in under the cloth. Drum roll. And The selection is
Kathy, Wayne,
Kathy and Wayne Isaacs. Kathy and Wayne Isaacs, congratulations. You are the winner of our Lake Tahoe Opportunity Drawing. And I can't even recognize whose handwriting is. I suspect that maybe this is one of Nikki's friends. All right, so Kathy and Wayne Isaacs, congratulations. And so you'll just contact us, and so you have a whole year now. Of course, there are blackout days and all that, but I understand it's a beautiful location. I mean, it's Lake Tahoe, man. I mean, how can you not have a good time? And you know, Lake Tahoe is kind of one of those places, you know, I have friends who love going to Las Vegas, right? To me, I don't get it because there's really nothing to do there except gamble, and the casinos are smoky, and you know, I mean, you can walk around, but it's 25-minute walk between each casino, and it's a desert, so you know, it's not very interesting. However, when you're gaming in Lake Tahoe on the South Shore, or because I lived for a summer on the North Shore, you can walk. You're walking outside of the casino, and there you are. You're in Lake Tahoe, and there's hiking, and there's skiing, and boating, and fishing, and people, you know, just getting away. Lake Tahoe really is a quite magical place. So congratulations. And I hope you have a great time. Well, I know you're going to have a great time. And then, of course, we give you $100 to get up there with, but you're going to have to find your own way back. Because I think $100 is probably what it would cost for gas to get up there now, right? I suppose it depends. All right, so did our people online, have they stayed with us, or did they all leave after the time? All right, so in honor of Valentine's Day, I thought, what greater poet to feature this evening than Hafez? He was a 13th, I suppose 14th century poet, 1320 to 1389. And the story is, the way that he became a poet was that he had to, his father died early and he had to go to work as a baker's assistant. And so it was in delivering baked goods to a wealthy family that he fell in love with the beautiful daughter of a wealthy merchant who was promised to another. And he composed these love poems that he would recite at her window. And it was said that if you held this commitment for 40 nights, undertook a 40-night vigil at the tomb of a famous saint, for legend had it that if anyone could accomplish this feat, they would win their heart's desire. And the story goes, indeed, after a Herculean effort, after completion of the 40th night of vigil, right? So he's staying up all night from sundown to sunup. It is said that the angel Gabriel appeared before Hafez and asked him what he desired. And gazing upon the radiant beauty of God's angel, Hafez forgot his human love, the object of his human love. And the thought rushed into his mind, what must God's beauty be like? My soul needs to see that. I need to see God. Gabriel then revealed to him the whereabouts of a spiritual teacher in Shiraz, whom, if served faithfully, would bring about the fulfillment of his wish. This teacher was Muhammad Attat, who lived a seemingly ordinary life in the world's eyes, that as a chemist or perfumer in a shop. And he guided his development and his poetry and in the unfolding of his soul. And it is said that Hafez's poems contain and reveal all the stages of divine wisdom, experience, and love. He cloaked all these truths in vernacular garb, as was the tradition of Sufi schools at the time, since secrecy was often essential in the climate of life-threatening fundamentalism. So, the poem that I have selected for tonight is this. It's entitled, I Have Come Into This World to See This. I have come into this world to see this. The sword drop from men's hands even at the height of the arc of anger. Because we have finally realized there is just one flesh to wound, and it is his, the Christ's, our beloved. I have come into this world to see this. All creatures hold hands as we pass through this miraculous existence we share on the way to an even greater being of soul, a being of just ecstatic light, forever entwined and at play with him. I have come into this world to see this. Every song the earth has sung since it was conceived in the divine's womb and began spinning from his wish. Every song by wing and fin and hoof, every song by hill and field and tree, and woman and child, every song of stream and rock, every song of tool and lyre and flute, every song of gold and emerald and fire, every song the heart should cry with magnificent dignity to know itself as God. For all other knowledge will leave us again in want and aching. Only imbibing the glorious sun will complete us. I have come into the world to experience this. Men so true to love, they would rather die before speaking an unkind word. Men so true, their lives are his covenant, the promise of hope. I have come into the world to see this, the sword drop from men's hands, even at the height of the arc of rage, because we have finally realized there is just one flesh we can wound. So here's another short one. It's Valentine's Day. It's entitled, How Did the Rose Ever Open Its Heart and Give to This World All of Its Beauty? It felt the encouragement of light against its being. Otherwise, we all remain too frightened. How about that guy? So I'm sitting again tonight, and given that I took a peek and I had 5 minutes to go, and then next thing I knew, I dozed off. So tonight, I am going to set a timer. Oh. Oh, there's announcements. No, okay. We have practitioners. You can find them online. If you're working through something, you don't have to do it alone, all right? Even if you don't come to this center, if you want someone to walk through it with you, just get online, CSLGH.org, click on practitioners, and all these practitioners are outstanding. I would use any of them, really. So you don't have to do it alone. Use them. They'll love you for it. Our Lake Tahoe drawing, that just happened, and we just, it was Kathy and Wayne Isaacs from the 661 area code were our winners tonight. So this Sunday evening, or this Sunday afternoon at 1 p.m., we have the Animal Kinship Group that's facilitated by Reverend Kathy Lyons, the Mistress of Animal Ministry. My ongoing class with Mental Equivalent, and that's also with Eric Hodges is helping out in that class, and that's continuing on Friday. Really, after this week, TikTok, the game is locked. So if you want to get in that class, you need to contact me tomorrow so I can get the materials to you. And then our ongoing commitment to bringing the creative arts into the Granada Hills area. So we have children's beginning drums, beginning guitar, theater, and Tai Chi. They're ongoing. And we also have new classes starting up. So if you know someone who's got some kids who are looking to, particularly the theater class, the thing about theater is it really helps your child grow in confidence and to express creatively. And anytime you can get your kid to do that, that's a good thing. And then this Sunday, I'm going to actually be sharing the platform with Reverend Gordon Bailey. He is our resident Unitarian minister here at the center, and he is the minister for the Sepulveda Unitarian Universalist Society, which meets here in our facility at 5 p.m. on Sunday evenings. He's going to be sharing the platform with me, speaking to Pushed by Pain, Pulled by Vision. Reverend Bailey is a third-generation Unitarian minister. His grandfather was one of the first black Unitarian ministers in the New York area. So he's a dynamic speaker, a lovely fellow, and a lot of fun. So you'll see him with me at 9 and 10:30. So hope to see you then. And that's enough announcements. Okay. Can I go now, Mike? All right. Proceed. Well, I feel like I need to cleanse my brain. So I'm going to reread the Rose poem. All right, so let's just take a deep breath and release, bringing our attention to the movement of the breath in the nostril as the mind begins to still. So we use the breath to focus the mind, because contrary to popular belief, you cannot hold two thoughts simultaneously. As we focus on the breath, the mind begins to still. How did the rose ever open its heart and give to this world all of its beauty, it felt the encouragement of light against its being. Otherwise, we all remain too frightened. Staying with the breath. Bringing our attention to the movement of the breath. And in this adapted Vipassana method, following the breath and using sensation to focus the mind. So in this way, an itch, not scratch, becomes an opportunity to focus. And breathe into the discomfort. On the other side of that discomfort, peace. Beginning with the bottom of our feet. Top of our feet, maybe even becoming aware of the sensation of our feet inside our sock, inside our shoe. Up the legs. Place we detect tension, we can just simply breathe into it. And on the release, you will often feel it unwind, whatever that tension is. Sometimes it takes a breath or two. Up the legs, releasing any tension in the knees, the upper thigh, we hold a lot of tension in these areas. If your awareness signals tension, again, just take a deep breath and release. So now we bring our attention to our sit bones. Gluteal muscles, our sit bones. If you're in a chair, the awareness of the chair against the small of your back. the spine, shoulder blades, breathing easily and naturally. We bring our attention to our sit bones, taking a deep breath, and release. So our erect and tension-free spine, balanced over the sit bones. The head balanced over the spine. Chin slightly downward. We move into the silence now for about 15 minutes. attention gently back into the room, staying with the breath. This beautifully peaceful meditation time. We focus our attention on the heart, the Valentine heart, the heart that extends love and compassion, free of any strings. A love that simply is. This is the flame of the divine within. With each in-breath, we are fanning this flame. Seeing it grow in its brilliance and radiance from a flame into a fire. A fire that illuminates rather than consumes. That radiates the light of love. Things that go with it. Forgiveness, empathy, compassion. Staying with the breath, we see this fire, the divine, this ball of light within the heart center continues to grow and expand with each in-breath. The same way that we would inflate a balloon, we are allowing the heart to expand with the breath. And in that expansion, we're feeling the expansion of our own heart, extending now beyond the torso, side to side, front to back, top to bottom, that we're sitting in this globe of light, this globe of love, staying with the breath, extending now beyond the torso, beyond the body, to the extended fingertips, staying with the breath. Allowing this light again to continue to expand with each in-breath and exhale. This light and love, this is the field of light and love that is filling the room of this sanctuary, the very room in which you dwell. In the room of this sanctuary from which prayers and meditations have been conducted since the late 70s, 50 plus years. So we feel the energetic of the love of our spiritual ancestors, those who gifted us this building, this tent, if you will, which we welcome everyone to join us in this field of light and love. So feeling in a special way on this Valentine's evening, a sense of connection, a heart connection with everyone on this call, whether on us, on YouTube with us presently, or even those joining us in meditation later, that the Spirit is not bound by time nor space, and so we are conscious of our unity, our oneness with all. So from this place then we we bring our offering for this evening, our concerns, our cares, our burdens, our intentions, our aspirations. Take a deep breath and release, knowing that we are releasing it into this field of mind, the infinite, that which is all power, the presence, a living intelligence, the creative impulse of life itself, that we experience as a field of mind. And so as we connect with our heart center, that we are allowing ourselves to open up, to be attuned to the divine song within, that vibrational tone of the indwelling spirit, that vibration that is attuning every atom, every molecule, every cell, every muscle, every organ, every bone, every sinew, all the various components and systems of this wondrous, miraculous body temple in which our spirit inhabits, that it is out picturing now as radiant good health, is attuning with a pattern of perfection and radiating as radiant good health. So we feel a sense of restorative ease, strength, and flexibility, of vim and vigor that radiant health provides. So we take a deep breath and release. And in that release, we allow the mind now to open, casting our gaze slightly upward, knowing that we are open and receptive to a divine download of new and dynamic ideas, from a divine upload from the indwelling spirit, where we fully embrace and capture new and dynamic ideas to any situation or circumstance that may have held us in confusion. At first we experience a sense of clarity, and then the answers, whether spontaneously in the dream state or through the day and through the week, that we are intuitively guided to ways that find the solution that contained within any seeming challenge presenting itself to us currently. That we know that the infinite power and presence of mind is now making the crooked ways straight, and the ways of grace and ease are available to us now. So we take a deep breath and release that. So finally, in this heart-opening meditation here this evening, that we bring to us our loved ones, those whom we share our life with as family or friends, that we feel this field of light and love containing within them that is overflowing in love itself, so much so that we can even bring in those from whom we feel we have been in discord with, as we release any strings or attachments that may have kept us bound in some way from being open-hearted with those whom we appear to be in discord with. For we understand now in a deeper way that they too are awakening to their own spiritual truth that has an awareness of oneness, of peace, compassion, and of that a motivation that seeks first to understand rather than to be understood. That in this way, like Francis of old, we are a channel of peace. We are a channel of love. We are a channel of creativity. We are a channel of perfect health. that we are the individualized expression of the Most High, expressing as peace, love, compassion, tolerance, understanding, creativity, and love in all of its forms. So we take one more deep breath. For that final release, releasing all our cares, concerns, aspirations, one more time, releasing all of it to that aspect of the mind, the divine itself that knows only to say, yes, my beloved, yes, as the law of its own being. So we know further for those of us here in the sanctuary tonight that we arrive home safely and in good order, that as we make our way through the rest of this evening, finding our ways to our beds, that as our head hits the pillow, we drift off easily, deeply to sleep, dreaming sweet dreams, that we awaken feeling fully restored, rested, revitalized, energetic, with a sense of vim and vigor and zest for the day. So taking one more deep breath. For the final release, with a deep sense of gratitude and confidence, we just release it all now to its divine unfoldment, knowing it is done, knowing it is so. And together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. Amen. So, happy Valentine's Day. One more time, congratulations to the Isaacs. And so again, we'll see you. If this is your first time joining us, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and you'll get a notification when we are on at 10:30 this Sunday with Reverend Gordon Bailey and myself and a wonderful practitioner. And I believe we have Jason Goldstein in the house again this week. So until then, know that you are loved. We'll see you on Facebook at noon tomorrow. Go in peace. Peace and blessings. Good night.